What's up YouTube, how goes it? Hopefully you guys are liking the new studio. It's still taking shape and it's far from perfect. That includes the audio, but I promise it's gonna get better video by video. For today's video, we're having a look at the ever so popular Acer Swift 5. A number of you have requested me to review this laptop with its latest 11th generation configuration. Well, here it is. The one we have here today is rocking the latest 11th generation Core i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. We've also got a 512 GB solid state drive, Intel's latest Iris Xe graphics on board, the latest Wi-Fi and Bluetooth standards, and yes, this is a 14-inch 1080p IPS touch panel display, so that's a mouthful, but there's a lot going on with this laptop. We're gonna see if the Swift 5 is as good of a laptop as its younger brother, the Swift 3, or if it's not exactly the mid-range laptop you might have had in mind. As always, if you guys enjoyed the content, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, let's go. As always, starting off with a quick unboxing, you can see that the Acer Swift 5 looks about as lame as every other PC manufacturer out there when it comes to packaging. Well, you basically have the Acer branding up front, and that's about all there is to see here. Once you remove the content seal itself, inside the box opens right up and you'll find a number of items. First and foremost, of course, you have the laptop itself, which is inside this interesting Ziploc bag. Once you remove that, there's further protective packaging. After removing all that stuff, here it is. Wow, this thing is seriously light, but we'll get back to the laptop in just a quick minute. Beyond that, of course, you have the good old instruction manual, quick start guide, warranty and regulation information, you know, the usual stuff you never really read. Beyond that, you do have a 65-watt charging adapter. Now this is interesting because unfortunately, despite this being a upper mid-range laptop, you still have a proprietary charging port as opposed to a USB-C type solution. Oh well, of course you also have the wall outlet cable, and that's pretty much everything in terms of unboxing. From a body design perspective, the Acer Swift 5 is a super light laptop. It weighs approximately 2.2 pounds, which is honestly pretty low on the laptop weight spectrum. In fact, it's so light you might be confused as to thinking that this is made of primarily a plastic build. Well, joke's on you. It's actually made of a magnesium alloy build, which allows it to keep the lighter weight composition as opposed to using traditional aluminum alloy for a metallic finish. Starting off with the top side, you'll notice it's a traditional textureless surface, and honestly it feels really nice to the touch. Also, you have that nice golden tint Acer logo in the dead center. It seriously gives it that nice premium look that people often want on their laptop. Making our way to the rear side of the laptop, it looks super sleek. You have a really aggressive triangular shape with the golden theme going on. In the dead center, you have the Swift 3 branding, and directly beneath that, you have the hot air exhaust vent. Making our way to the sides, you'll notice that I/O port diversity is actually quite respectable given the petite figure of this laptop. So you have a DC charging port, right next to that you have a HDMI port, a reverse charging capable USB 3.0 port, and a Thunderbolt 4 port. On the other side you have the hard drive and power indicator. Right next to that, of course, you have another USB 3.0 port, and yes, you do have the good old headphone jack. The bottom side of the laptop also has a magnesium alloy metallic finish, so the premiumness continues, if that's even a word. Anyway, you'll notice you have a bunch of air intake vents, which is funny because only the ones on the left side have an actual fan beneath it. The others are just kind of there for aesthetics. Weird design choice. Anyway, you'll notice on either corner you do have two speaker grills, so this is in fact a stereo speaker setup. We will do a brief sound test later on in the video. As you unfold this laptop, one of the very first things you notice is just how petite this laptop actually is. It honestly feels like a 14-inch laptop in the body of a 13-inch laptop. Of course, that does mean you do have rather limited palm rest space, but that's quite acceptable. The trackpad is very interesting. So it's very wide, but it's not as tall, unfortunately. But honestly, the minute you use your trackpad, you'll fall in love with it. Clicks are tactile. It does not feel flimsy or cheap. It does have a glass surface finish, and it's really well calibrated in terms of the touch zones. This is probably one of the better trackpads I've used in 2021 so far. The keyboard on the Acer Swift 5 does not disappoint, so you have a reasonable amount of key travel. Also, the keys feel pretty tactile, which creates a pretty pleasurable typing experience. Of course, this is a fully backlit keyboard. You'll also notice that all the keys are labeled in gold, and this is of course to keep consistent with the rest of the theme, so good job in terms of attention to detail, Acer. Unfortunately, there is no pen keypad here, so if that's something that's important to you, keep in mind you will not get that here. Also, you do have a built-in fingerprint scanner directly beneath the keyboard itself. The only downside to this keyboard is the fact that a lot of the keys are dual function, so in an attempt to compress the keyboard as much as possible, Acer kind of tried to compress as many keys to have dual functions. Some people find this to be a genuine nuisance. If you've seen some of my other reviews, you know how serious I am about hinge quality. The Swift 5 for the most part is a pretty well built or well designed hinge. It does not wobble, it's sturdy, and it seems that it's going to last a couple of years at least, unlike several other laptops I've reviewed. Now with that being said, one flaw is that the lightweight of the laptop makes it nearly impossible to unfold it with a single hand, meaning you will tip the laptop over unless you use both hands to lift the laptop open. Also, in terms of the display fitting department, I have to give it to Acer Swift. This is a 90% screen to body ratio, which means you have pretty thin foreheads and chins, and the bezels are super narrow, which looks super sleek and modern. Also on the top side, you do have a 720p webcam, which again looks pretty outdated and outright disgusting. But if we're going on the spectrum of disgusting, this is one of the slightly better webcams out there with better light intake. Acer is really starting to nail the quality of displays with the Swift lineup. The Swift 3, the latest edition anyway, has a fantastic display, and the Swift 5 does not disappoint either. So you have a modest resolution of 1080p. This is a IPS touch sensitive display, which is all great. However, the real highlight here is the fact that you have a 100% sRGB rating. If you are a user who's heavily reliant on color accuracy, particularly a creative user, you will absolutely find this display a joy to look at. On top of that, you have a respectable peak brightness of 340 nits. Now, I won't lie to you, the brightness can fall a little short when you're in outdoor settings, and this is largely due to the fact this is a highly reflective display. It would have been nice if we got 400 nits, but again, 340 nits isn't bad by any means. That's just something to keep in mind, however. Let's talk about performance. The Acer Swift 5 is a very capable laptop. The Core i7 coupled with 16GB of RAM rips through most day-to-day tasks without a sweat, whether that's web browsing, watching a video on YouTube, or doing word processing. Now, in terms of high-end performing, things get a little bit more complicated. So when you're doing resource-intensive activities, say for example like video editing, you'll find the laptop definitely holds its ground. It can do most editing fine. However, this laptop does get quite hot quite quickly, and a lot of that is because of the petite body Acer has here. I often find that the laptop could not cool itself fast enough, which inevitably leads to the occasional thermal throttling, which means you see a fair bit of frame drops when you're doing resource-intensive activities, again like video editing. In the gaming side of things aren't much different. Keeping in mind this is not a gaming laptop, you will see a fair bit of frame spike, no, what's the opposite of spike? Dip, sorry. A reasonable amount of frame dip, and that's because, again, the laptop heats up quite a bit, which results in pretty strong frame dips time to time, but you will find that it's still a viable laptop as far as high-end performance goes, just not as good as managing heat as some other ultrabooks out there, like the Dell XPS, for example. While we're on the topic of heat, let's get into thermals. So the Acer Swift 5, as I mentioned, generally speaking runs pretty cool when you're doing a low to moderately intensive tasks with a sustained temperature of around 24 degrees Celsius on the surface. However, when you start pushing this laptop for more resource-intensive activities, you can expect a sustained temperature around the 30 degrees Celsius mark, but we did find occasionally the laptop could go all the way up to 35 degrees Celsius, which is relatively hot, and again, this is because there's nowhere for that heat to go in such a small body until the fan completely exhausts it outward. But it's not unreasonable. In terms of fan noise, this is a very quiet laptop if you're not doing anything too intensive. In fact, you'd have a hard time guessing there's actually a fan on here until you looked at the bottom. With that being said, at the absolute loudest, the fan can hit a peak noise of around 34 decibels, which is relatively quiet, and that usually turns off pretty quickly once you're done with the activity that requires a lot of energy. The Swift 5 has a pretty impressive battery life when you compare to the rest of the PC industry. Now, Acer went a little too far with this and said you get up to 17 hours of battery life. In no scenario have I made that come true. However, I did find that I was able to squeeze up to 14 hours on a single charge, doing anything from web browsing to watching a little bit of videos with the speakers on around 50% brightness. So overall, that's very impressive, and that's definitely what I would call all-day battery life. Now, with that being said, if you are doing more intensive tasks, the battery life will very quickly drop to the 7 or 2 hour mark even, again, depending on what you're doing, like video editing or gaming. With that being said, charging the laptop is pretty speedy. You can get up to 4 hours of battery life on a quick 30-minute charge. The speakers on the Swift 5 are definitely one of its weaker elements, so despite being a stereo speaker setup, the maximum volume is just too little. This sounds like a very shy set of speakers. You'll definitely find that you're better off using headphones. Have a quick listen for yourself. The voices pull between you and me. Yes, it's true, I'm falling hard for you, but I won't rush this love. I can wait even if it's hard to take. One moment is enough. I will be standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. So what's the power summary here? Well, priced at $1,300 USD, the Swift 5 is not a cheap laptop. Keeping in mind it's a upper mid-range laptop, it definitely brings a fair bit of value however. So you have a fantastic build quality, the keyboard and trackpad are an absolute joy to use, but the highlight of this laptop has to be its high quality display. So I really like the fact that you have both touchscreen capability and really great color accuracy. Though the nits might be slightly on the lower side, they will not get to a point where they become a problem for most users. Also, the fact that you have a decent amount of I/O port diversity makes it that much more of a functional laptop. Some things holding this laptop back, of course, is the fact that its small body design is a double-edged sword because it does heat up every now and then, and this may be a problem for some users more than others. Also, I think the webcam and speakers could definitely use an upgrade. They're not in par of what you should expect of a high-end laptop like the Swift 5 again. But overall, I definitely think the Swift 5 brings a lot of great elements, and the flaws are relatively small and often negligible. If you are finding the price tag of the Swift 5 to be a little too high for you, you could always consider the Swift 3, which I think again is a fantastic value laptop, and it costs a whole lot less. All in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope I was able to help you decide which laptop might be right for you. As always, if you enjoyed the content, hit that like button, consider subscribing to my channel. We're so close to 10K subscribers, all thanks to your support. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.